Alright everyone, this is Sawyer, and we're here with another comic book collecting video. Basically gonna go over some books that I have in my collection. I'm like slowly going through all of them. You know, right now I've probably, all the videos I've put so far have probably been like 5% of my comics, so still a long ways to go. First up we have Damage number 7. I don't remember too much about this character. I just know he was kind of like semi-big in the 90s era. Like he's a was he on Young Justice? No, he was on he's on one of those teams. I think it was a Finn Incorporated or something. And he's basically just got like from what I can remember, he's got like explosive powers. Like he can blow up and all that. And he's just a very just a very self-destructive character, which is why he's called Damage. But yeah, it's just whatever cover. I think I got it for like 25 cents or something. Yeah, and then we have Hawkeye number 8. This from the newer series they put out a couple years ago. I really enjoyed this series. I think it's really fun. It's very kind of whimsical, kind of casual kind of stories, I guess you could say. Like it's just funny because like Hawkeye like almost never really uses his bow in those issues. He's always like just throwing things or fist fighting people. And when he does use his bow and arrow, it's just for like funny moments and stuff. It's a really interesting book. Check it out if you like a more lighthearted comic book. This is definitely a good title to check out. This is a cool cover though. I really like this cover. It's got a very kind of, I love the red in the background. I love the use of just basically red, white, and black, and it's got a very I'd say a very James Bondy kind of cover. Like that's the kind of feel I get, is that like 60s James Bond kind of female feminine, how do you say it? Like female look to it. Next up we have Legion of Superheroes number 5. As I've stated in my other videos, I'm a huge Legion of Superheroes fan. I'm not really a big fan of these covers though. I forget who does the art for these. Is it this guy? Is it this guy? Is it Keith Griffin or whatever? On the bottom there? I don't know. I can't tell which one of these names is the writer or which one of these names is the artist or whatever. But I do know I'm not a big fan of this cover art. It's a very distinctive style. You see it in a lot of Legion of Superheroes comics from this time period. Whoever this person was, they did a lot of Legion of Superheroes covers, and I don't really like them. It looks kind of reminds me of Frank Miller's art style, and I don't like Frank Miller's art style either. I think it's just really ugly and blocky, and I don't like it. I love his storytelling. I just don't like I don't like Frank Miller's covers. Art. Next up, we have Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul, however you want to say it. Number 1. This is this is a one-shot. It's not just it's a little one-shot story. I don't actually know if I've read this, but I really like Ra's al Ghul as a villain. I think he's like my favorite Batman villain, and so I enjoyed it. I always pick up stuff if I see him in it. And this is done. This has got that writer right there is a pretty good writer. I mean, he's done Deadpool and stuff. And that's one thing you'll notice about me, guys, is like as much as I'm into comic books, as much as I know my history of comic book characters and storylines and stuff, I'm not very good with the creative talents behind them. I can never remember their names, or if I do remember their names, I get them wrong. I say them wrong, or I just don't know who does them. I'm not like sometimes I can point out certain art styles, and like I'll know that that's a particular artist, but I probably won't know their name. Just like with that Legion cover, like I know that's a particular artist that was kind of like doing a lot of work in that time period, but I don't know their name. So just bear with me if I ever talk about an artist or writer or something and I get it wrong. Just bear with me because that's not my strong suit. I know there's some people that they're really good with that. Like they're like fans. They keep track of all the different writers, all the different artists. They'll always like read books that are by that artist or by that writer, and that's how they choose the books they pick up. That's not how I do it. I've never done it that way. So I don't really keep up with the talents. Next up we have Green Lantern, Brightest Day, number 57. This is a really cool cover. I think this is like a 25. I think I picked this up out of a 25 cents pile. I think I only picked it up because of the cover. I just like the cover. It's mostly just the I don't know if you can see, but like in the background, you got those kind of like neon, glow in the dark kind of looking. I don't think it actually glows in the dark, but those very transparent kind of light, like colors, like on the on the yellow lanterns and the green lanterns and stuff. It just looks cool. I like that. I really like the background of the cover. Next up, we have Daredevil. Daredevil against the Inhumans. I don't know what issue it is because the big dollar sticker is covering it, so that's whatever. But yeah, this is basically I got it from my Books A Million a while back for $1. As I've said before, my Books A Million always has a bunch of clearance books for $1, and I just like to pick them up sometimes. It's always newer stuff, but whenever newer comic books usually cost $3 to $4 half the time. $1's not a bad price. Let's see. Next up, we have Micronauts number 2. This is basically a series that was it's kind of like one of those classic '80s series it was a toy line, and then they made it into a comic book to help sell the toys. And yeah, it's interesting. It's fun. It's basically about a bunch. It's basically about a bunch of like warriors and people that live in this this distant world that's actually just a microscopic universe underneath us. And then they end up getting I guess transported or whatever to our world, but they're super small, so they're about the size of like ants, I guess. And it's just a fun comic. They have fun with the covers on these too. Like there's one cover I used to have where they're running away from a lawnmower, like the lawnmower is coming at them, and it looks like it's destroying everything in the path, and they're about to be next. It's just a really kind of fun cover. And then we have another Micronauts cover, number 7. I used to pick up a lot of these. I think these were like flea market pickups. Like there used to be like a flea market in town that had a bunch of these kind of like Bronze Age Marvel books, and I used to pick up Micronauts because they had a bunch of them. And then we have Spidey Super Stories number 22. I don't really know much about this. I'm assuming these are reprint things, because I'm pretty sure this is a classic key cover that's older than this book. Even though this book is actually kind of old. This book's like probably 70s or 80s, but I think the story is like in the 60s. That's because that's like supposed to be the Beetle, right? And the Beetle is pretty much like a Silver Age villain that you never see anymore. What's interesting about this book is it's basically like a partnership with the electric company, which is like I'm not too familiar with the electric company, but I believe it was like an educational like kids program back in the day, kind of like Sesame Street, I guess. But yeah, so that's probably like that book. That book is probably a more kid friendly story, which I think means most comic books were in that time period. Then we have Archer and Armstrong number 1 from the new. This is the new 2000s series. From the reboot of Valiant Comics. I'm a really big fan of Valiant Comics. The new stuff and the old stuff. I think I'm a little bit more into the old stuff, but the new stuff's good too. But yeah, this is a great company. I'm glad to see them back, and they're going really strong now. They've been at it for 5 years now. Since they're resurfaced, and they're doing really good. This is like a variant cover. It's basically the same cover art. It's just that the other cover is got color, and this one's like a black and white cover. I like this cover though. It's very nice. I love the red over there, like in the publisher corner. Looks nice. Then next up we have another dollar book from Books A Million. We have some Scarlet Witch issue. They keep covering the numbers or whatever, so I can't see the numbers. But yeah, there's a Scarlet Witch. I like this cover. It's a very, very simple looking cover. I like the red and black. I'm just a sucker for red and black on a cover. That color scheme always kind of works. And then we have let's see. Then we have the Amazing XMen number 4. This is just one of those. I've had this book for years. This is part of my childhood collection, and this is just like it's just one of those kind of 2000s, 90s X-Men comics that there was millions of back in the day. Like they were just flooding the market with X-Men because it was like the most popular title. So yeah, it's nothing special. I don't think there's anything special about this book. I don't think it goes for anything, but it's been in my collection for a long time. So let's see. Last two books are a little bit older. This is an interesting book. It's called Crossfire. I don't know what number this is, but this is Crossfire, and it's a. I want to say it's a Charlton book. I don't know. I don't actually know who. I don't know who publishes this book. It does say the Christian Comics at the top, but I don't know if that's actually a publisher or not. But yeah, like from what I know, this is like a Christian like police procedural type book. You know, basically, like law stories, good and evil kind of stuff. I guess. I've actually never checked it out. Maybe one day I'll read that, but I probably won't. But I thought it was cool. I picked it up a long time ago, like at a flea market or like a trade show, for like nothing. I think I paid like 25 cents for it or something. And it's just kind of cool. I really like picking up those kind of oddball books, the oddball genre books, like like procedurals and lawyer books and stuff. If I can find them cheap. Usually you can't find them too cheap, but because most of them, because a lot of them are from like the 50s and stuff. So, but anyway, last book we have for today's episode is Marvel Presents the 3D Man, number 37. This is a really weird character. I don't really know too much about him. This is another book I've had in my collection for like forever. All I really remember about this guy is it's like the story's set in the 50s, and he has doesn't he have like a pair of 3D glasses or something that he puts on, and it gives him powers and it gives him a costume and all that. I believe that's how it works. I'm not sure. He was just a very gimmicky kind of character that didn't really last very long, didn't really catch on. But it's a cool comic. I like the character. I do like the idea of the character. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, that is my comic books for today's issue. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. I've been getting a lot of new faces on the subscribing board, so thanks for that. I've been really really checking out the community for the comic book hauls and stuff, or just comic book videos in general, and the community seems really cool, really awesome, really kind of opening and friendly. So definitely going to be excited to join that community. I've been on YouTube for years, but I've never been my YouTube channel has never been very focused on any one particular thing. So it's kind of cool just to be able to kind of fit myself into a community on here. So yeah, as always, thank you guys, and see you guys later.